Today on the Chemist DIY, we're going to be installing and replacing the driver's side heated mirror on this Mercedes Benz C230 Compressor Sport. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so the mirror on this Mercedes Benz C230 Compressor Sport has gone bad. Now, most if not all Mercedes have a temperature regulated driver's side mirror, and that's to help to defrost it during those cold frosty mornings, and it is regulated by the temperature control sensor outside of the vehicle. Now, how do you know when your Mercedes mirror has gone bad? Well, if you're watching this right now, chances are your mirror is bad, and it looks something similar to this. Now this mirror, as you can see, has a yellowish hue, and also when you're looking through the mirror, it has a double reflection of everything that is portrayed in it. Now to give you an idea of what a good mirror looks like, I went ahead and purchased myself a replacement mirror off of eBay, and as you can see the clarity in both the damaged and the good one, you can see that there's a big difference. So if you go ahead and take this vehicle to Mercedes Benz, Mercedes will go ahead and charge you somewhere in the range to $200 to $250 just for the mirror itself, not including the labor costs. So it's in your best interest to go ahead and fix this yourself. And today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. But before we go ahead and do that, we're going to jump to the bench real quick. I'm going to show you the back side of this mirror and what makes this unit or this mirror special as opposed to any other mirror. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're back here at the bench taking a look at two eBay mirrors that I purchased. On the right we have a used OEM replacement here that I purchased off of a yard off of eBay, and we have a aftermarket brand new here. And I kind of wanted to point out some key differences when it comes to making the purchase of your mirror. Now as you can see on the OEM manufactured replacement mirror here, we have a thicker rubberized coating that goes around the mirror, and this will obviously match the opposite side of the vehicle. But the purpose for this thicker ring here is to protect the edges of the mirror. Now when it does not have this rubberized ring around it, as you can see in the aftermarket part, it's going to expose the edges of the mirror here. But also one other key point I want to point out here is that over time, due to the heat and weathering and what have you, the glue is going to actually deteriorate and you are going to get a gap in the mirror here. So when it comes to purchasing your mirror, try and find an OEM original as opposed to an aftermarket one. And if you do happen to purchase an aftermarket one, make sure it has the thicker rubberized ring that protects the edges of the mirror and keeps the mirror in place. Now we're going to go ahead and flip it to the back side, and I want to show you some other key differences here. Now taking a look at the back side of these two mirrors, as you can see they are similar in nature, but what it comes down to is what type of mirror do you need for your vehicle. Now the aftermarket mirror here, as you can see, only has two prongs. If we take a look at the OEM mirror here, we have a connector type, and we also have a prong for what may be a ground or something. I'm not quite sure on that, but you're going to need to remove your mirror in order to see what type of mirror you need to purchase. Now the key differences is this is just a mirror with a heating element, and this mirror here on the right side actually does the heating element and auto dimming. So key note, before you make your purchase, make sure to remove your mirror and inspect to see which one you are going to need. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about installation for a moment here. Now, as you can see, aside from the two connectors that we need to connect up here, we also have some guide pins, and there are holes in the housing of the mirror itself that we need to place these in order to correctly align the mirror in place. We also, as you can see here, have a guide that this portion needs to fit into place. So those are two key notes that you are going to need to know when installing your mirror. All this needs to be in alignment. Now when it comes to the retaining pin, I have both of these set up in a certain orientation to demonstrate to you guys. Now what we need to do in order to remove the mirror is lift up this retaining clip here, and this is going to allow the stress or the locking to be removed from the mirror, so we can just slightly pull it out. So as you can see, this is the way it is in the vehicle currently, and this is the position that we need to get it in order to remove the mirror. And we would do this in reverse order in order to get the mirror locked into place. So once we have the mirror locked into place, it would be set up like this, and we are just going to simply move this over and forward to lock everything in place like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and move over to the vehicle and get started on the installation. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move our mirror into the downward position where we can see the inside here, and we're going to go ahead and slide it this way. Now, all I'm going to simply do is come back here and see if I can feel for that circular portion here and see if I can remove it with my finger. And if I can't, we're going to go ahead and use a pick tool to go ahead and remove that retaining clip out of place. Now, I can feel it, but it is hard to get over that clip. So I'm going to go ahead and use my pick tool and kind of push it away from the body of the mirror. And there we have it. Now our retaining clip is out of place. We're going to go ahead and remove it over this latch, and now we have it completely removed. And now we should just be able to pull our mirror out. Like so. Taking a look at the back side, you can see where our brown clip here needs to go back into place, and we also have this clip here that needs to be removed. Let's go ahead and remove that now. 1, 2, and our bad mirror is out. As you can see, I already went ahead and situated the retaining clip into place, so that all I would need to do is simply slide it down and have it locked into place. So you're going to want to make sure you do that as well. So we're going to go ahead and put in our clip again and connect up our spade connector. And we're all set to get her installed. Now again, these guide pins got to go into the specific holes. Now that it's clipped into place, we'll go ahead and bend the mirror back down a little bit. Take our clip, our tool here, and slide it back over. And once you hear the click, everything's in place. And there you have it. Alright guys, so that's going to bring this video to a close. I hope it helped you out. If it did, please consider giving me a thanks, and don't forget to leave me some comments. And if you need some help with some direction, go ahead and post that in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. As always guys, I'm the Chemist, and I'll see you next problem.
The Chemist DIY Blogspot is your one-stop place where you can find all of my past and most recent video tutorials. Here, you can stay on top of my most recent posts as well as current projects that I'm working on. Each of my DIY projects are situated in a neatly categorized navigation bar and offer convenient drop-down menus to further drill into that subject's topic, if available. Within the body of the main pages is where you'll find my most recent postings on an image card, offering a brief synopsis of that video tutorial, as well as the category I have placed it in. Selecting the card of choice will bring you to that topic's page, where you can find a quick breakdown of that topic, links to all the products used in the making of that video, as well as a built-in video player link to that video located on YouTube. Check out the site guys, leave me a post, and let me know what you think. The link to my website can be found in the description section below.